Hello students, welcome to Early Wisdom Academy, Chapter 6, Lines and Angles. So the introduction part of lines and angles starts with few definitions. So the first definition is line. We have studied that a straight line forms a line. So with some measurements. But in case of your Chapter 6, it is a line that can be extended on both the sides. Both the sides it can be extended. Only at that condition it is called as line. Then comes your line segment. Line segment is a straight line where both the ends are fixed so that you can say it measures 6 centimeters or whatever it is. So this is your line segment, whereas line it can be extended on both the sides, whereas line segment has a fixed measurement. Next comes your ray. Ray it can be extended on one side and the other end is fixed. Next is your collinear points. Collinear points are the points that can be formed to form a straight line. See, when I connect these points, they will form a straight line. Next comes your non-collinear points. Non-collinear points are the points that does not form a straight line when they are connected. So when they are connected, they do not form a straight line. Collinear points, when all the points are connected, they form a straight. Even though it is not straight, please understand it is a straight line. Whereas non-collinear points are the points which do not form the straight line. Next comes your angle. Angle, when I draw two arms in this way and the angle or the value which is formed here is called as angle. Vertex is the next heading. So when I mark it as A, B, C, vertex is your point A and angle is BAC because this is your angle. So this is the angle, whereas this point where both the arms or ray touches is called as vertex. We always call these are arms. Next is your acute angle. Even though these are the basic things, let us recollect so that you will not do any mistakes while doing the problems in lines and angles. Acute angle, when the angle is less than 90 degree. So the angle should be less than 90 degree. You know that when I draw a perpendicular, it forms 90 degree. So the angle is lesser than 90. We call it as acute angle. Next is a right angle. When the angle is equal to 90 degree, it is called as right angle. Next is obtuse angle. You know that when the angle is greater than 90 degree. So you can see here, if this is your 90 degree, the angle which is formed is greater than 90 degree. Right angle is 90 degree. Obtuse angle is greater than 90 degree. The next is your straight angle. Straight angle is the angle formed on the straight line. So that is usually equal to 180 degree. Straight line. Angle on the straight line is 180 degree. Next is your reflex angle. Reflex angle. So consider an acute angle. So this is my acute angle. Leaving the acute angle, the remaining whatever is there, it is called as reflex angle. Next comes your complete angle. Complete angle is, you know that it is 360 degree. Now 0 to 89 degree it is called as acute angle. 90 degree is called as right angle. 91 to 179 degree it is called as obtuse angle. 180 degree is called as straight angle. 181 degree to 359 degree it is called as reflex angle. and finally 360 degree is called as complete angle. Next topic is complementary angle. When two angles are added, say I have angle A and angle B. When I add these two angles, the sum should be equal to 90 degree for complementary angles. These two angles are called as complementary angles. Whereas the next one is supplementary angles. Supplementary angles, similarly if I have angle C and angle D, the sum of these two angles should be equal to 180 degree. When I say sum of the angles A plus B is complementary, then it is equal to 90 degree. And when I say sum of angle C and angle D is supplementary, then they are equal to 180 degree. So the next topic is adjacent angles. See, let me mark it as A, B, C and D. So angle A, B, D and angle D, B, C. That is, this angle and this angle are called as adjacent angles because these two angles have a common ray. There is a common arm between these two angles. Whenever an angle shares a common arm between them, then they are called as adjacent angles. Okay. So the next topic is linear pair of angles. Linear pair of angles. Whenever adjacent angles, whenever the sum of adjacent angles forms 180 degree, then they are called as linear pair. Of course, A and B are adjacent to each other because they share this common arm between them, and the summation of them should be equal to supplementary. Supplementary is 180 degree. So I can say that on a straight line, if there is a ray, the angles formed by this ray are called as linear pair of angles, because we know that on a straight line the angle is 180 degree, and when I have a ray on it, they are going to divide this 180 degree. Therefore, when I add them, I am going to get it as 180 degree. So the next one is vertically opposite angles. When I have two intersecting lines, these two angles are called as vertically opposite angles and they are equal. Or I can say these two are also the vertically opposite angles and they are equal. So vertically opposite angles are always equal. The complete angle is 360 degree. So the next topic is intersecting lines. Previously we saw when two lines are intersecting at a point O or any point, you can name this as anything, A, B, C, whatever it is. When they intersect at a point, then they are called as intersecting lines. The next one is non-intersecting lines. Non-intersecting lines are the lines that do not intersect. It can be in any direction. So they are called as parallel lines. Non-intersecting lines are also called as parallel lines. Parallel lines are the lines which has common distance between them at any point. They'll have the same distance between them throughout the length. Let them be increased to any distance, they will never intersect and the common distance between them will be maintained. We'll see the other topics in the next class. Thank you.